Hi, my name's Jon Binnie, and I'd love to share with you my awakening experience. And so before I do, I'd love to ask you a few questions. First of all, do you feel like this whole world has changed around you? That you've woken up one day, that you've been through a significant event in your life, and you've realized that this world is not quite what you thought it was. In fact, it's very different. We've seen a lot of changes in the world, and this world continues to be chaotic. There's a lot of anxiety, stress, and fear that surrounds us every day. And it's very easy for us to be caught up in that trap, to be caught up in our 9-to-5 jobs, in our daily lives, in our routines, and not really be paying attention to what's going on so much in detail outside of us, and also, even more importantly, within us. And so on my awakening journey, I definitely went through that process. I spent about 15 years really obsessed with truth and conspiracy, everything from aliens to our ancient history. And I really found myself lost in a world that I felt disillusioned. And as I progressed on that journey, I realized that there's a lot that is hidden from us humans day to day. And I found that really difficult to reconcile. And then I went through an awakening process. It never ends, but it definitely started in November 2017. And I started meditating each day. It's a big thing. It's a big thing just saying that, meditating each day. I did actually put it off for quite a while. I had heard of people meditating. I've seen it in in movies. I've seen, it's in our culture, right? Meditation is in lots of different religions as well. And I just felt like meditation seemed like a really hard discipline to learn. Like it seems so inaccessible to me. The good news is that it's not that hard. And actually, it's much easier than many of us think. For me, I had to make some changes in my life to make space. The good news is meditation can be really short. In fact, still today, 5 years after my first awakening in meditation, I only spend 5 to 10 minutes each day meditating, and it's a really simple process for me. And what I find is that meditation is enough to change my whole day, to change my reality. And it's beautiful, right? When you think about it, and apologies, I've got a bit of hair from my microphone in my eye. Yeah, it's really beautiful because I feel like this whole world is so chaotic. And yet in a day of 24 hours, it only takes 5 minutes to stop and breathe, to stop and take a moment. And if you've made it this far into the video, I'd like you to stop with me for just a moment. We're going to take one deep breath together. You ready? We're going to breathe in through the nose nice and deep. And hold that breath in our stomachs, in our bellies, and then release nice and loud. And if you join me in that breath, well, thank you. And what I find is that breath alone is enough to start that meditation process. And if we all did that deep breath, if we took that deep breath every day, it would make this world a better place. And let's talk a little bit about the world first. Some of the things that have really helped me have been, first of all, just acknowledging and holding space for the difficult position that we find ourselves in, the human race, every living thing in this planet, and how uncertain our future feels. And at the same time, I have such love for every living thing in this planet. And a lot of the foundations for me have been being able to reconcile duality. So much of our fear that's programmed and pushed into us through all the different media channels that we consume, everything that we consume around us, and the programming that we go through, that we put ourselves through as well. a lot of this is promotes duality. In actual fact, we're really not that different. In fact, we're all one. And this process of unity has really helped me understand that there are really dark aspects of me reflected in this outside reality around me in this world. And so when I deny them and say that that only exists in others, then I create this dualistic world where I am fearful of them. And actually, the hard work, the inner work, is for me to face that within me, face that aspect of me. And it's a journey. And so for me, going back to my journey and going back to meditation, I found that the best thing that helped me was taking 5 minutes each morning and just going into that deep breath practice. So taking 3 deep breaths and then setting up a safe space around me. And a lot of people in meditation describe the challenges of thoughts like coming and going. And that's really hard, right? It's hard to stop thoughts. And I must admit, I don't really try and stop thoughts or empty my mind in meditation. Instead, I take myself through what works best for me is working through like a visualization. And so I play this story, I play this guided meditation to myself through that whole 5 minutes. And it's a routine that I'm thinking through, and I like set up a safe space. I ground into planet Earth. I ask my angels and my spirit guides to come in and assist me. And once I've created big bubbles of love around my home and this planet and the solar system and the galaxy and the universe, and setting my intention with that protective light of love to help everything, every living thing, that I then ask for a message from my spirit guides in that moment. And you don't need to ask your spirit guides. In fact, you don't even need to believe in any of these things, even light and love. But the actual meditation process I found so powerful. Doing it each day is a great way of, for me, I do it first thing in the morning. And so it's a great way for me of being able to set up the rest of the day. I also, most of the time, do it just before sleep time as well. And that really helps me set up my sleep pattern for the night. And the other things that were challenging for me to face, I gave up alcohol. That was really hard. I drunk for decades, and for me, it was a real crutch. It was a real comfort blanket. Like whenever I was stressed, I could just put on this cozy alcoholic duvet, and nothing could really hurt me. I was just like made of rubber, but it was harmful to me. It dragged me down. It always left me in a low place, feeling kind of still and stagnant and quite depressed and not really wanting to think about other things and trying to do things in my life that just, distracted me and took me away from the things that were painful. Stopping drinking really helped me with meditation, because first thing in the morning, if you've got a hangover and you try to meditate, it's really hard. That was my experience. It's totally up to you whether you give up alcohol or not. Everyone's got their own free will about what they consume. That was my experience. It really helped me having a clear head. And I also pay a lot of attention to what I consume. I now realize that everything I consume, including this video that you're watching, becomes part of me. So whether it's social media, whether it's Netflix, whether it's watching the news, like what's going on around me, the people that I connect with, the food I eat, the vibration of the food I eat. I also gave up meat. And there's lots of different things in my life that I stopped where I felt that it wasn't for my highest good. And that also helped me really step into a clear, clean body, feeling great and healthy, and especially when I go into these exercises like meditation. I hope this helps. Sending my love from Scotland. I love you.